Hello guys, it's Nigel here with you, back at the workbench, and it's been a few days since I put a video. As some of you will know, I've had problems with my eyes, and that problem has almost gone away. I reckon another couple of days and I'll be back to fighting fit, and I'm going to have to see if I can get myself some airtight goggles, maybe some swimming goggles or something for when I'm using fillers and that. I don't know, we'll have to see where we go from here. But anyway, what have I been doing while I've been away? I've been doing some modelling. I haven't done much in the garage. I've done a tiny little bit in the garage, but nothing much to speak of. So what have I been doing while I've been away? I haven't been able to do any spray painting. I haven't been able to do any filling, rubbing down of fillers or anything. So what could I pick up and do? And I picked up this. If you remember, I showed you my hull. I've looked back to some photographs that I took of it while I was doing it, and believe it or not, I did it 7 years ago. I did the hull 7 years ago and put it back in its box. So I thought what I'll do, because I want to do the Titanic, and I've never done a ship before. I've never worked with tiny photo etch parts in the sort of levels that you do with ships, and I've never done wooden decks or anything. So I thought, well, I'll use this as kind of a guinea pig, because I have got the Mark 1, the KA models detail upset for it, and I thought I'll go through it and just basically do all the really monotonous, repetitive bits, like the, all these bits of cranes and guns and basically ships. Battleships tend to be many times of one thing. I've been watching Ben's model build over on Midwest Modeler, or Midwest Model Shop, I think it's called, his channel. Go and have a look at that. He's doing the Missouri currently. He's done the Arizona. He's doing the Missouri currently. I mean, he gets onto some guns and he's got to do like 57 of the same thing, and there's like 7 or 8 Pontos parts in each. Oh God, I don't know how he handles that. So but what I will say, having done this week, been working on this week, massive respect to ship modelers. Not ship modelers, ship modelers. They are a different breed. We build our planes and our cars and our tanks and stuff. I tell you what, guys, this is 200 scale. This is massive. I mean, you think about this. This is part of a crane, so that's 200 scale. So if this is the upright for one of the cranes there. If this was 350 at scale, it would be like this long, and in 700 scale it would be this long. And people build these things in 700 scale and put the same amount of PE on as I'm putting on this, and I'm struggling with this. So I mean, Jesus guys, fair play to you. You are a different breed, I can tell you. So I'll show you what I've been doing and what I've been working on, and a few little bits and pieces, and I like to always add my own little bits to things. So as I say, I got this kit. I got the Mark 1 detailing set from KA models, and this is basically all. Make sure you're not glossed out. This is basically all you get when you get a Mark 1 detailing kit. You don't sort of get the Edard style instructions, you just get this kind of thing, and this is showing you how to build the rear catapult, and then you've got the catapult there that goes on the on turret number 3, and then we've got some cranes here. This is the aft crane, and then you've got the 2 intermediate cranes here, and these are the steps for the admirals and stuff to get into their boats, I believe. But and then basically all you get then is these photographs, and it's photographs of this is showing you where to remove, and then that's it. The rest of it is all about assembling. You can see, when you're working on it, it's like this. You've got these hundreds of arrows everywhere pointing to everything, and it's showing you where all the bits go. And there's no real guide to bending them or how to bend them or whatever. It's all just a bunch of pictures showing you where the bits go, and you've got to really hunt around and find them. And what I find the best way to work with these, I'm not telling anybody how to do this, but what I've found is the best way to work with this, say you're working on the funnel, get the part of the funnel and then go through this and look for that part of the funnel on these pictures, like here, and look where it is, rather than like with Edard. You get a set of instructions with Edard, and it gives you an area of the ship, and it tells you what the part is, it tells you to bend it, it tells you what you're replacing, and it tells you where it goes. Whereas with this, you've got to just find it and then work your own way out. And a lot of this stuff is replacing plastic parts that you might cut out and remove, but also some of it is replicating the photo etch parts you already get in the kit. Like for instance, these booms here that go out on the forward control tower here. Okay, got these booms here. So you get those in photo etch in the kit. You also get them in plastic in the kit, but you also get them in photo etch in the Mark 1 detailing kit. So you have to sort of look through and decide which is the best. And 9 times out of 10, the Mark 1 detailing kit comes out the best. But yeah, not the easiest instructions to understand, but it does make for a very involved and rewarding build rather than just, you know, going through the pages, stage 1, stage 2. You know, it makes a very rewarding build. So that's that. So I'll show you what I've done. The first thing I realised was that this set is quite lacking. There's a lot of stuff that could be added, that needs to be added, that isn't added. Like for instance, on here you can see on the rangefinders, there's no detail whatsoever. You can see there's no detail whatsoever. And then here on these rangefinders, there's nothing going through. There's no real detail to add to the turrets or anything. There's some railings for the top, but there's nothing to go around here. There's no detail for the funnel here. It all just remains quite chunky plastic. So I thought, well, I'll get a couple of photo etch sets from Edard for it. So I got and these are the two I think you should really get, and probably get the boat set as well for the ship's boats. But this is part 1. This is the cranes. But even though they call it cranes, I'll just show you in here. The crane set from Edard, it covers these railings that go around the turrets. And then you've got your ladder here for your crane upright. Then you've got all the details here to add to the main turrets, and that's for all 4 of them. You've also got the end caps if you want to put them on. Then you've got all the detail there for the funnel. Okay, so this is the actual. Here's the plastic funnel here, which I've done. So we're going to replace all that with photo etch. That photo etch that's in there is actually part of the kit. But goes together beautifully, bit of seam clean up, nice job. So you got all that, and then you've got here the last page, you're onto the cranes. So these are the 2 main cranes that go sort of midships. Where are they? Where are they? They're here. These are the main cranes. So you get your kit plastic parts. You've got your Edard photo etch parts, which are here. This is number 1. So you've got these parts here. Now this is using a lot of the plastic, whereas the Mark 1 detailing set is using mainly photo etch. So I should probably go with the photo etch ones to get that realistic sort of steel box section look, but then use these railings because they're attached to the upper surface if you look. Whereas on the Mark 1 detailing set, it's all separate railings. So you know, that's that set there. And then you also get this one here, number 6, which is the they call it superstructure, but straight away you can see you've got a load of detail here for your rangefinders, and then again down here. And we go over the page, still on the rangefinders, and we've got a load of detail for our searchlights, loads of detail for the guns, which you don't get in the Mark 1 detailing set. All this detail here for the guns, and then you've got these bits and pieces, some grills that go around the base of the turrets. Got this vent here for this vent chute. And then we've got all our ladders for the main superstructure going up through there. We've got some replacement doors. Look out for the pilot here. And then we've got a gate there, which is, I'm guessing, folded back or whatever. And then we've got some details there for the, that's the, what are they called? The things that turn the chains and the anchors. And then we've got a load of details down the side of the hull. Got some on the foredeck there. Got some ramps, reels there, some winch detail, and they've got all this detail for all the hatches. And then we've got a load of ladders here going on the side of the detail. And then we've got the skylights there for the storerooms underneath. And then we've got all these details here for up the side of the hull. We've got steps and everything going up the side. And then we've got all these access ports to get into the armour belt and everything. So even though it's called superstructure, it really is, you know, it's worth looking through this. Through the Edard stuff, you know, and really go to town and have a look through and get what it is you need. Book wise, I'm working with this one. This is the not very good book. It's all drawings. There's no real photographs, and as you all know, I hate working to drawings, but it's handy for, you know, if something's not quite clear in the instructions, you can see sort of where it goes. But you can see like this detail here straight away, I'm noticing that's all incorrect. That's not right at all. So basically it gives you some ideas of how bits go together and the location apart. For proper reference, this is what you want this book here. Battleship Arizona, an illustrated history by Paul Stillwell. Again, just want to check you're not getting glossed out. Where is the ISBN number? There we go. So if you want to look this book up, you can. I bought this second hand, so it's a little bit tacky. I tend to look after books better than this one, but it's a really beautiful book and covers a hell of a lot of you know, right up to sort of current day, right back to when she was built. And there's a hell of a lot of stuff there about, you know, these are the real unfortunate sad times when they were, you know, ripping all the stuff off, all the bits and pieces off her, and you know, and then her glory days here, looking beautiful. And it's all about the cruise as well, and there she is in dry dock. Really, really good book, some fantastic reference pictures, lots and lots of great stories about her, and you know, all the history and all the modifications that were made when they were made. Here she is being built. So yeah, really, really good book, that one. It's also available in softback. As I said, I bought this second hand, it's hardback, and yeah, well worth having. I wouldn't be without it, to be honest. So enough for all the references and all the bits and pieces. What have I actually done? So I've built up, this is the gun deck, the little gun deck that goes on the what I'll do is I'll keep this here, and then it'll give us an idea, and I can show you where this stuff goes, make sure we're not glossed out. Let's move the light. So here we go. This is this little area here. So this is the little gun deck. You can see we've got some of the photo etch detail under there. So that's the all KA Mark 1 model. I call it KA or Mark 1 models. They're the same company. Some people say MK1. It's Mark 1 models or KA. So that's that bit there, which is really, really nice. And then I've been working on the, you can see I've got this clamped in place and drying. This is on the rear tower. This is this one here. As you can see there, it is like that there. And you can see we've got all the photo etch detail, and that's all done. And now that that's all done, I'm actually gluing this deck in here in place, because now I've got to come along and put more photo etch detail in there. And I'm actually keeping that clamped together because it wants to spring apart. So just leave that for 24 hours, let the glue go perfectly hard, and then we can start adding our little bits and pieces in there, because there's a lot of detail under there. Lots and lots of it. And you've got this trim that goes around the outside. This is all kit photo etch here, and this is portraying a basically a rim around the edge with holes in it. You see here I've done some drilling to get them looking a bit more realistic, but I didn't start doing these because I wouldn't be able to get into all the really tight corners. But yeah, you can see you get all this photo etch here. This is part of the KA set that goes around these control areas. I need to paint these inside white, put a floor in, a couple of partitions, so you're not just looking straight through, make them look a lot better. And that one isn't actually glued on, that one's just in there holding the top of it, everything in place. If I just show you here, here's one here, you can see there they are there, there's those two there, they're pretty much identical. And what I've done, so you get a nice thin section, you can see there when we look at the photo etch, rather than looking at a thick piece of plastic, like when you look at the KA Models one, here it is here, you can see in their drawings, you can see this great thick wedge of plastic in behind the window. So to get the scale effect, I've actually hollowed out in behind. Now you can see this has been soldered, but I haven't actually glued it on. This will come off of here, like so. So I can show you inside, and you can see what I've done is turned it in. Now when I look at this, if any of you are familiar with D-Day and you watch, I can't remember if it's the British or the Canadian troops being landed, they come out on the beach, you're looking out of the landing craft, and up on the top of the beach there's a house, and that reminds me of that. When I look at that, that reminds me of that house. I don't know why, just my stupid mind. So yeah, we've got the panels here all cut out, and then what I've done is chamfered all the corners off, sanded off all the detail to allow for some room for the solder, and then basically that will just slide over there like so. And then once it's all in place, I can run some super glue down in here and stick it all in place, and then I'll go around with some Mr. Surfacer, fill in all the seams and make it look like one piece. So I think that's a nice addition. That's, as I say, that's in the KA photo etch set, or the Mark 1 detailing set. Edard don't actually make that, so you'd have to, if you want that, you'd have to get the Mark 1 detailing set. As far as parts go, got all this here. Let's get this out of your way. This is my bag of parts I've been working on. Here you've got the this is the forward pilot's deck, and we've got searchlights going on here, and then there'll be a, sorry, we haven't got searchlights there. We've got the what do you call them, the rangefinders going here. So they're going there, and then you can see I've got a piece of plastic card in there. There's a sort of roughly very blobby looking plastic cast pilot's house. So basically you get one in the Edard set, which is number 6. It's in there, and where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is there. And you kind of fold it up, and that gives you your little room in there. So paint inside that white, put a floor in it, put a door on it, whatever. And then you've got these square areas here where the ladders come up through. You can see you've got some more photo etch under there to replace all the chunky plastic. And then here we've got the this is the lower end of the front tower. And as you can see, I filled in the holes there. These are the holes where the ladders would go, the plastic molded ladders. And then we've got these sides here. These actually go on here like this, like so. Okay, so that's going to sit. Oops, that's going to sit then on the deck, and flat like that. And what I've done here, you can see I've thinned out all these edges because it's molded kind of on that plane. So you end up, well, sorry, that plane. So you end up with a very thick section of plastic here. So I don't know if you can see that where I've carved it away. You see I've carved down here to remove the plastic, and where the foot is at the bottom, so it fills the hole in the deck, I've left that the same size. So I've just basically thinned everything out to, you know, if you are building a model on a budget, you don't want to go to photo etch and all that. If you thin everything out, like exhaust pipes, window frames, anything like this, thin it out, it just makes your model like $1 million. This is part of the superstructure, just gone in there. You can see I've thinned out all the window frames, gone in behind with a 3mm burr, or sorry, 3mm burr, and that just thins out those areas so the window frames look thinner. Some more of the superstructure here. It's going in on the forward end, and then we've got this area on the back. This is on the rear end of the main deck, and this is like obviously cooling vents or whatever. You've got to be very careful with your seam on there. When you do that seam, don't sand away your detail and everything. We've got this. Can't remember what it's called now, but that basically has a piece of photo etch here that sort of wraps around it. You can see that wraps around it. So I've got to enlarge these windows. More sort of decking here or control centers here. Again, windows thinned out, doors removed, ready for some photo etch replacements. Again, windows thinned out on that one. Got thinned the windows out on here. This is the basically projection room. This is where they projected films. These two here, these are uprights for the rangefinders, and I thought, well, they're made in 2 parts and they've got a seam on them and they're a little undersized. When they go through this deck here, you can see they're like a prick in a top hat. So I thought what I'll do is I'll just use a slightly larger piece of plastic tube, and I'm making those for them. There's that pilot's house I was talking about, or pilot's room, and that sort of goes on the top there. So you cut that off and replace it with a piece of thin photo etch. It's going to look a lot nicer. Another piece of the deck here. Something I was looking for when you got the plastic ladders going up, plastic steps. They've got a little nubbin to fit in there. Fill that in with a bit of plastic card so you haven't got a step there. And then again here, fill those in. Got to cut these off on the sides here because we've got some thin photo etch going in there. And then here we've got the parts for the catapults. I'll be using the photo etch parts for the catapults. So I just got the plastic parts off of there so I could throw the sprue away. Gun wise, I've chosen the master set. They do a set for this model, which is SM200-002, and you get the 10 5-inch 25s. You get the 8 5-inch 51s. Sorry, you get the 10 5-inch 51s, and you get the 8 5-inch 25s. And then you also get the 6 or is it 8 50 cals. They're water cooled 50 cals to go on the all around your superstructure as well. So full set of gun barrels in there. You don't really need the main gun barrels for this kit because it already has aluminium ones, or if you're in America, aluminum ones in the box with the kit. So I've built the guns up here. You can see is the rangefinder's done. So you can see we've got the doors on there. Rather than use the photo etch for the grab handles, I used a piece of 0.3 wire. You can see there, and we've got the steps on there as well. And then you've got this little photo etch box on the back. The kit gives you a little round part there, which is incorrect. It should be a square box. So they're looking very, very nice. And then we've got the gun loader there. We've got another rangefinder here, which is the one that goes forward. And that's all nice with its door detail on the ends, and then you've got the support detail on the sides. These are actually hollow on the bottom, so I filled them in with a bit of plastic card just to make them look a bit better. And then all our guns, you can see here we've got you've got the 5-inch guns here. These are the 10 off that go on your main deck. You can see we've got the brass barrels on there, and then we've got the photo etch control lever, something to do with the raising and lowering of the gun. You've got this detail around the bottom here, and you've got the steps for it to stand on as well, which is all very nice, which really, really highlights them. But unfortunately, you're not going to see much because they just basically, they sit in the superstructure. I'll show you here on this picture. They sit in the superstructure and poke out, so you're not really going to see much of them at all. But you know it's there, so looking lovely. And then we've got these other guns here. I'll leave these on this box. And these are the ones that go around. They're not very nice, these guns. The moulding's not very nice on them. They're very softly moulded. Oh, to make the guns not all floppy and all just fall down, what I did was put some PVA glue in the centres of them. Let the PVA glue dry so it's like rubbery. And then the guns then will be quite stiff and you can move them. But they don't just fall down under their own weight. So you can see on there we've got the railings around the front. Oh, we'll get one off. You can see here, get the light over. We've got the railings around the front edge here with a little raised step on. You don't get that in the kit. And then we've got the master barrel on there, and there's some other little bits and pieces of photo etch around there. But as I say, the moulding on these is all sort of incorrect. It's very soft. See how this turns out. If it looks really nice when it's done, I may look for aftermarket and replace them. They're easier to replace because they sit here. So there's one there, one there. You can see they just sat behind those blast shields. So basically, they'll be really easy to replace. So if it all comes out really nice, I will replace them because I think the whole model, these are probably the weak point of the whole model so far. So unless my hull mods turn out rubbish. So you can see what's been done so far. So we've still got all that to go on. This is the kit photo etch, which most of it won't get used, to be fair. And then here we've got the this is fret C from the Mark 1 design set. You can see we've got most of that still there. Then we've got this little fret here, which is E. You've got all those tiny little round parts there which go on the onto the decks. And you've got here, these are the guides for the anchor chains. Loads of steps there, or ladders should I call them. And then we got, this is where you can see all the panels came out for those lookout towers. Got some railings there, some more bits and pieces there. A load of ladders. These ladders are really, really nice. If I can show you on here. Oh, here are some other bits I did. There's the cranes. This piece of white plastic here, that comes actually in the Eddard set, but it's horrible. It's horrible. It's got all fold lines on it, so I basically left that. But basically you can see those ladders are lovely, looking up the sides. So they're really, really nice. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. And then there's those mesh grills on there. So I painted in behind them black with a brush. Didn't airbrush them, guys, so that they don't show grey plastic showing through. So there we go. And then finally we've got the last sheet of photo etch here from the KA set. And oh, just one more thing I need to show you. This is the packaging for the KA set, Mark 1 Designs. You can see we've got another sheet in there which is all our railings. That's the part number there. And then down in the back here we've got all our, you can see down in here we've got all our wood decking in there. So there we go, guys. That's basically what I've been up to while I've been away. So I have been doing modelling. I haven't been doing any sanding or only little bits of plastic. No filler sanding, no spraying, no working with resin, no working with stinky chemicals other than a bit of CA glue, and I've had the fan on blowing the fumes away. So yeah, all in all, having a good time. I'll be back to normal in a couple of days, so we're going to get that B52 done, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Happy modelling, stay safe, and whatever. Bye for now.